Let us understand analysis of multi-beam multi-story frames using moment distribution method. In this video, I will explain you the concept of axis of symmetry, then how we can modify the frame when axis of symmetry passes through columns and when axis of symmetry passes through beams in case of multi-beam multi-story frames. After that, we will solve one example on analysis of multi-story frames using moment distribution method. So, after watching this video, you will be able to calculate final moments in various members of a frame and draw bending moment diagram of multi-story frames using moment distribution method. In this video, you will understand analysis of symmetrical multi-beam multi-story frames. Due to symmetry, these frames are not subjected to sway, so these are non-sway problems. Let us consider the frame shown in figure. This frame has axis of symmetry. That means right part of this frame is mirror image of left part of the frame. So if you draw a tangent to the deflected shape like this, the slope theta is in clockwise direction. Then on other side, that is on right side, if you draw the tangent, the theta will be in anti-clockwise direction, that is in opposite direction to this. So theta on right side is equal to theta on left side but in opposite direction. Similarly, if the frame is symmetrically loaded and if you draw bending moment diagram, you will observe that the magnitude of moments at the joint is same on both the sides, but they are in opposite direction. That means if the on left side, if the moment is clockwise 4.45, then on other side, it will be 4.45 only, but in anti-clockwise direction. So moments are equal and opposite on other side. Similarly for beams, if the moment is anti-clockwise 4.45 at this joint, then on other side, the moment will be 4.45 only it will be in clockwise direction. That means if the frame is symmetrical, then we can solve only half of the frame and draw bending moment diagram on one side. The bending moment diagram on other side will be just the mirror image of this side. So that is the advantage of axis of symmetry. That is the problem, we have to solve only half of the part of that problem and we can take the values on other side equal and opposite in nature. So in this video, I will explain to you how to apply the concept of symmetry to analysis of symmetrical multi-beam multi-story frames. So in this case, we are going to consider two cases. First is when axis of symmetry passes through columns and second is when axis of symmetry passes through beams. So you can observe this first sketch. In horizontal direction, there are bays. In vertical direction, there are stories. So when number of bays are even, here in this case, the number of bays are 2 and number of stories are also 2. This is 2 bay, 2 story frame. So when number of bays are even, then axis of symmetry passes through columns. When number of bays are odd, in this case, it is 3 bay frame, 3 bay, 2 story. So when number of bays are odd, then axis of symmetry passes through beams. So we will consider one by one. First we will consider case 1, axis of symmetry passes through columns, and then we will discuss axis of symmetry passes through beams. and we will understand how we can modify this frame for analysis if axis of symmetry passes through columns and if axis of symmetry passes through beams. So let us consider first case, that is when axis of symmetry passes through columns. Now you observe joint B. At joint B and joint E, the axis of symmetry is passing through these joints. So you know that in the frame, if the frame is in equilibrium, then summation of moment at every joint must be equal to 0. That means at joint A, suppose you apply summation of moment equal to 0, that means MAD plus MAB is equal to 0. Similarly, if you apply summation of moment at joint B equal to 0, what you will observe? MBA plus MBC plus MBE equal to 0. So summation of moment of all the members meeting at that joint must be equal to 0. But due to symmetry, the moment MBA is equal to MBC and they are equal and opposite. Therefore, summation of moment MBA plus MBC is equal to 0. And that's why there will not be any bending moment in member BE. So at joint B, due to symmetry, the bending moment in member BE will be 0 because MBA is equal and opposite to MBC. They will cancel each other. So summation of moment will be 0. So there will not be any bending moment in member BE. Similarly, there will not be any bending moment in member EH. Therefore, we can remove these members since there is no bending moment. After that, if you consider joint B, because of these columns here, and our assumption is neglect axial deformation in the member. So there will not be any vertical displacement of joint B. Similarly, due to symmetry, there will not be any horizontal displacement also at joint B. Also, at symmetry, slope is always 0. So what are the conditions at joint B? That it cannot move in vertical direction, it cannot move in horizontal direction, and it cannot rotate also because slope at axis of symmetry is always 0. So therefore, we can consider a fixed support because at fixed support, no vertical displacement is possible, no horizontal displacement is possible, and rotation is also not possible. So we can imagine the fixed support at joint B. Similarly, we can imagine a fixed support at joint E. So we can remove this member BE and EH and we can modify this frame with only this half part because you know that MAB will be equal to MCB because of symmetry. So because of symmetry, the bending moments are equal and opposite. That just now we have seen in single bay single story frame. Similarly, here also the bending moments will be equal and opposite. There will be mirror image on other side. So how we will modify this? We will remove member BE and EH because bending moment in these members is 0 due to symmetry. Then since there is no vertical displacement possible, no horizontal displacement possible, also due to symmetry, there is no slope. So we can imagine the fixed support at B and E. And we will modify this. Let us see how to modify this frame in next slide. So when axis of symmetry passes through columns, the given frame is like this. This frame can be modified like this. So only half of the frame we have to solve. We can remove these columns on axis of symmetry and we can just solve this half of the frame. We have to consider the fixed support at axis of symmetry, that is like this. So from the discussion so far, we can conclude that when axis of symmetry passes through columns due to symmetry, only half the structure on either side of symmetry axis needs to be analyzed. Then bending moment in the member which lie on the axis of symmetry, that is member BE and EH, the bending moment will be 0. Then at joint B and E, which is on axis of symmetry, displacement is not possible in horizontal and vertical direction. In vertical direction, why the displacement is not possible? Because we have assumption that neglect axial deformation. In horizontal direction, why the displacement is not possible? That is because of symmetry. So at joint B and E, displacement is not possible in horizontal and vertical direction. Then these joints cannot rotate due to symmetry. And therefore, we can consider fixed supports at B and E and analyze only half the structure. So this is when axis of symmetry passes through columns. Now we will see when axis of symmetry passes through beams. When the axis of symmetry passes through beams, we can observe 3 points here on axis of symmetry. First point is there will not be any horizontal displacement because of the symmetry. Second point is there will be vertical displacement in this case. And third point is due to symmetry, the slope at axis of symmetry is 0. Then the axis of symmetry divides the beam into two parts. Therefore, we have to modify the stiffness of this beam, which is equal to half of the original stiffness. So let us see how we can modify this frame when axis of symmetry passes through beams. So when axis of symmetry passes through beams, we can assume the guided roller like this. At guided roller, the slope is 0. There will not be any horizontal displacement, but vertical displacement is possible. So at guided roller, horizontal displacement is 0, vertical displacement is possible, and there will not be any slope. So we can modify this frame like this. So when axis of symmetry passes through beams, we have to make two modifications when we analyze the frame using moment distribution method. First is the stiffness of the beam through which axis of symmetry passes should be taken as half of the original stiffness. That means if the length of the member is L and moment of inertia is I, then we have to take half of I by L. Don't make length half, but make the total stiffness as half. So stiffness of the beam through which the axis of symmetry passes should be taken as half of the original stiffness. And second point is no carryover across the axis of symmetry. That means we have to solve only one side of the axis of symmetry. There will not be carryover across the axis of symmetry. Now let us understand how to analyze the multi-story frame using moment distribution method. I hope you must have understood the concepts which I have explained so far. If you want to understand the concepts in structural engineering properly, then listen to complete explanation in my video. Please don't miss any word. So let us start solving this problem. This is a multi-story frame, single bay, two-story, subjected to uniformly distributed load 20 kilonewton per meter. It has various moment of inertia, that is moment of inertia of bottom column is 2I, bottom beam is 4I, and these are the moment of inertia for top story. It is subjected to 80 kilonewton load on axis of symmetry. This is load on axis of symmetry, and there is uniformly distributed load of 20 kilonewton per meter. I forgot to write the spans here. So this beam is completely 8 meter. This load is at 4 meter from C. So it is centrally loaded beam, 8 meter span, and height of each column is also 4 meter. So AB is 4 meter, CD is 4 meter, DE and EF is equal to 4 meter, and this length of the beam, span of the beam is 8 meter. So let us solve this problem using moment distribution method. So this is the given frame. As you know that moment distribution method is a displacement method, and in all the displacement method, first step is always to calculate fixed end moment. So first of all, let us calculate for span CD. It is central point load. So you know that it is WL by 8. W is 80. Total span is 8 meter divided by 8. So WL by 8 minus 80 kilonewton meter. Now in this case, remember that we have to calculate the values only on the left side because this is symmetrical about this axis. Since it has only one bay, so we need to solve only left part of this frame. So the fixed end moment is minus 80 kilonewton meter. Similarly, you can calculate for span BE. For span BE, MFBE is minus WL square by 12. Now what you have to remember here, though the axis of symmetry passes through these beams, while calculating fixed end moment, you have to consider the total load on the beam and total span of the beam. Don't take only half the span while calculating fixed end moment. So for calculating fixed end moment for CD, consider complete span. Many times student gets confused when the load acts on axis of symmetry, how to calculate the fixed end moment. But while calculating fixed end moment, you don't have to consider half the span, but you have to take complete span of that beam. So while calculating fixed end moment and distribution factor, don't divide the beam into two parts on axis of symmetry. Don't divide this frame. Calculate as usual, but only on one side. So here I have calculated fixed end moment for CD and fixed end moment for BE. After that, second step is to calculate distribution factor. As you know, we calculate the distribution factor in tabular form. So joints members K means relative stiffness, summation K, and distribution factor is ratio of K upon summation K. Now this is the given frame, and you know that we are considering only left part of this frame. So there are only two joints, that is joint C and joint B. At joint C, there are two members CD and BE, out of which CD member is on axis of symmetry. Therefore, stiffness of CD member is to be taken as half of the original stiffness. Similarly, at joint B, there are three members BC, BA and BE, out of which BE is on axis of symmetry, and therefore we have to take the stiffness of BE as half of original stiffness. So let us see one by one. So at joint C, as I told you, there are two members CD and CB. I have written here CD dash just to differentiate that this is on axis of symmetry. So on CD dash, for CD dash, it is half of original stiffness. So remember that while calculating distribution factor, you have to consider complete length, not half of the length. So half of original stiffness is I by L, where I is 2I given, 2I by 8. To take half of it, so it will be I by 8. For member CB, it is I by L, and length or height of the column is 4 meter. So I by 4. So you will get 1 by 3 and 2 by 3. If you want, you can write in not in this ratio format, but you can also write in decimal format. Then we will go to joint B. At joint B, there is member BC, then BE dash and BA. For BC, it is I by L. For BE dash, we have to take half of original stiffness. So half of I by L. I here is 4I by 8. So it is I by 4. Then stiffness of BA, since this is fixed end, so it is I by L, where I is 2I, so 2I by 4. So if you calculate, you will get 1 by 4, 1 by 4 and half. That means 0.25, 0.25 and 0.5. After calculating distribution factor, always take summation of distribution factor at the joint. And you know that summation of distribution factor at the joint must be equal to 1. After calculating this distribution factor, next step is to write the distribution chart, moment distribution chart. So for moment distribution chart, we will write joints only on the left side. So joints, there are 3 joints A, B and C. So we will write like this A, B and C. At E, A, there is only one member, that is AB. At B, there are 3 members, but while writing the members, write properly. That means towards A, write BA, towards C, write BC, and the remaining member you have to write here, middle, BE dash. Then at C, towards B, you have to write CB and then CD dash. After writing these joints and member, next step is to write the distribution factor. We have calculated distribution factor 0.5, 0.25 and 0.25. At joint C, 2 by 3 and 1 by 3. After writing distribution factor, write fixed end moment. For AB member, fixed end moment is 0. For BE dash, it is minus 106.67. And at C, it is minus 80. After writing fixed end moment, I have drawn here a red line. So whatever the values below this red line, we have to add it. After writing fixed end moment, the next step is balancing. Balancing means what is the unbalancing moment here? It is addition of the moments at this joint, which is minus 106.67 plus 0 plus 0. So therefore, minus 106.67 we have to distribute between these 3 members in the proportion of distribution factor. So with opposite sign, we will write here balancing. So minus 106.67 multiplied by 0.5, then this multiplied by this and this multiplied by this. With positive sign, we will write here. Similarly, here also with positive sign, we will write the balancing moment. So we will get these values. If you multiply minus 106.67 by 0.5, you will get this. By 0.25, you will get this and this with positive sign. Similarly, minus 80 multiplied by 2 by 3, you will get this. Minus 80 multiplied by 1 by 3, you will get this. As you know that if the moments are developed at any point due to any reason, half of it is carried over to other end. So if you look at B, joint B, we have calculated moment at BA, BE and BC, BA, BE and BC, then BA moment will be carried over to AB. So from BA to AB, there will be carryover. BA moment is carried over to AB. Similarly, BC moment will be carried over to CB like this. And as I told you that at axis of symmetry, there will not be carryover across the axis of symmetry. So there will not be any carryover from member BE dash. Then if you go to joint C, then there will be carryover from CB to BC, from CB to BC. There will not be any carryover across this axis of symmetry. So carryover from BA to AB, from BC to CB and from CB to BC. So there will be 3 carryovers and we calculate the carryover moment, half of this moment with same sign. So we get these as the carryover moment. Once you calculate carryover moments, again at the joint, summation of moment is not equal to 0. And therefore, we have to distribute it again. So how we will distribute this is called as balancing. So this moment multiplied by 0.5, balance this BA, then this multiplied by 0.25 and this multiplied by 0.25. Similarly, at this 13.33, we have to balance by multiplying by 0.2 by 3 and 1 by 3 with opposite sign. So you will get balancing moment like this. So again, you have to take the carryover. You have to repeat this process, take the balancing and then repeat this process. I have not written these steps, middle steps here. So you try to solve this and you carry over this process till you get negligible value of distributing moment. So I have stopped here at minus 0.03, minus 0.01 and minus 0.01. After this, I have drawn a red line. That means you have to add all the values in between these red lines, two red lines, to get the final moments. So if you add it, you will get final moment AB is the addition of all the values here. So it will be plus 20.88. MAB means moment at A whose far end is B. Then here MBA plus 41.73, MBE, MBC, MCB and MCD. So these are the values we get on left side. So on right side, there are equal, the magnitude of the moment is equal, but the sign will be different. For example, if AB is 20.88, then FE will be minus 20.88. If CD is minus 56.81, then DC will be plus 56.81. Similarly, if BE is minus 85.80, then EB is plus 85.80. So on other side, we don't have to calculate. We have to take same magnitude but opposite sign. Similarly, BA. If you see BA, it is plus 41.73 BA. So EF will be minus 41.73. This is how we calculate the final moments in the frame. Then last step is to draw the bending moment diagram. So we got these final moments from moment distribution. These are the moments in various members. So in case of multi-story frames, now I will explain you two ways of how to draw the bending moment diagram if it is a multi-story frame. So method number one, showing the bending moment of columns and beams on same frame. So here we draw the frame, whatever the frame is given to you. First of all, you complete the bending moment diagram of columns, and after that you take the mirror image on other side. So this is bending moment diagram of columns. After that you draw bending moment diagram for beam. So this is bending moment diagram for beam. So for BE it is minus 85 for BA, for CB, CD it is minus 56.81. So it is plus 56.81 here. Over this we have to overlap the bending moment diagram due to this 80 kilonewton. So due to 80 kilonewton, you know that it is WL by 4. So you can overlap like this, and this is the net bending moment diagram for beam. Similarly, for BE member, this is minus 85.80 on this side. So it is plus 85.80 on other side. Over this, you have to overlap the bending moment diagram due to UDL, and this is the net diagram. So after overlapping this, you can calculate what is the net bending moment you get here. Calculate the net bending moment by deducting this bending moment value from the total bending moment value. So, but in this case, at this joint, you will find lot of overlapping. Whenever there is a joint of 3 or 4 members, then there will be lot of overlapping. So you may get confused with that. So this is the final bending moment diagram. When you draw the bending moment of columns and bending moment of beams on same diagram, then at the joint there will be lot of overlapping. So to avoid that, whenever there is multi-story frame, we prefer to draw bending moment diagram of column on separate diagram and bending moment diagram of beam on separate diagram. So if this is the frame, then on one diagram, you can draw bending moment diagram for columns, and other diagram, you can draw bending moment diagram for beams. So you will not be confused with the values at the junction. So this is simplest way to draw the bending moment diagram. If you find it difficult to draw bending moment diagram of frame, then I will be uploading soon the video on how to draw the bending moment diagram of frame without any mistake. Please watch and understand that video. It will be useful to draw bending moment diagram of frames solved by any method, that is any displacement methods like Carney's method, slope deflection method, moment distribution method, etc. Stiffness matrix method also. So don't miss that video. Do watch the video on how to draw the bending moment diagram of frames. I will provide the link in description box soon. So stay connected. Thanks for watching.